I'm Paul.
Hi.
Everyone quiet or are we on? No.
We're live. We're live.
Oh.
Alrighty. Alrighty, we're live now?
Okay, let me.
We're live, everybody. Can you see my video? No? We are live, everybody.
Let me check out the YouTube.
Oh yeah, because it's 2 minutes late. Because I couldn't see how this worked.
2 minutes. Enough time for a quiet.
I don't want to sound backward. What's the YouTube item?
What?
What?
I don't want to sound backward and out of touch.
I love you, but I'm a little disappointed that you equated that to that.
Right? No, like listen.
Yeah,
Listen,
what's the
we see
YouTube
the
handle?
world through our own different lenses.
Mm-hmm. That's what you're going with.
Yes, and
Okay.
that's what I'm going with. Yes, Guionomics. So like we're not live yet, right? Because I don't want people's mothers to be seeing me with a oh. Hi.
Oh yeah, we are live. Isaac, can you play the item?
Say so right up there. Ish, I want to stand up.
Isaac, play the video because the screen on the YouTube is your homepage.
The library, actually.
I don't know why it's, I don't know what, yeah. I don't know why it's being slow. I don't know why it's taking, yeah.
No, it's the feedback. The feedback is delayed. We have like 4 viewers right now.
No.
Hi everyone.
Hi.
This is weird.
What's weird?
You know what's weird is it's so slow that it's so slow, so I can't really I can't really figure. Like anyways. Awesome. And then I try to play the video is becoming so.
What's going on?
I'm pretty sure we're live, guys.
Yes, we are. Like people just like
what's going on? What's running? Okay.
All right. Hello everyone.
This stuff.
Hi.
Hey, Zach. Always the odd technical error at the beginning, and today is no different. And I feel that's a good thing. Standard procedure.
All right, cool. So are we together?
Isaac, mute your item. Somebody's YouTube is on whilst they're thinking on the live. The audios are mixing up.
All right.
Okay.
Okay.
Was that me? I think it's me.
In the beginning.
All right. Hello everyone. Brian. Greet everyone, and we start. Let me try to share the video one more time.
All right.
Where is it? Okay.
Sorry for the lack of unprofessionalism, guys. We are functionally dysfunctional.
Oh no, we have the elderly amongst us. It's okay. They
Yeah.
understand.
Isaac is
It's
30
a
years
key
old.
thing of Poets on an
Yes,
Island.
Isaac.
I personally love it because it exposes people who like planning.
Well, poetry needs to be organic. So, like, I mean, this is performance art right here.
Yeah, art.
Yes, drop
The
your,
beginning of it
if you
all,
guys want to
Apple.
shout out, drop your items, your
The
names
leg is so heavy.
and handles on the comment section.
Okay.
Give a shout out.
I don't want to be followed, so I'm not dropping.
It's on.
I'll be followed. Yummy.
Okay, guys. So, can people see my
We
screen?
good?
Can people see my screen?
We good?
Yes, Isaac, they can.
Yeah.
No, like when I play something, because
Try playing. We're just seeing your library, so try playing something.
I didn't know what was patriotic. What's with the flag?
because oh, I tried playing something, but it's still my screen is not okay.
My most fun poet in Ireland story involves
All right, I think we can go on whilst I try to figure this out.
Okay,
And we can start the reason why we are here today. Unofficially welcome everyone who's watching us. Thank you so much for tuning in. And likewise, share the link, stream, and invite your friends, your everything out there. And today we are basically having a flashback. Basically, we're looking back at our first headline show. Later we'll speak, and we're gonna look at every great moment that happened and everything, and the stress that built it up, and so many things. So we're gonna. Some people promise that they're gonna spill the beans. Everything is gonna be said here. Unfortunately, it's live, so whatever you hear here it's true, and you can use it against someone else later on. So without further ado, I'll ask Brian to lead us in discovering and unraveling what went through when we're planning all of this stuff. Brian.
All right.
But
Greetings.
everybody can say hello. Like let's be polite. Like, everybody say hello and all of that.
Greetings, ladies and gentlemen, and the 8 people that are currently viewing live at home. And yeah, we are Poets on an Island. My name is Brian. There's Naomi. There's everybody else right there. You know, I said Naomi because she's the most light-skinned person here. All of us are just there's nothing unique about us.
Mad Brian.
It's black history.
Black Lives Matter, bro.
We're being xenophobic for a second. I'm joking. Don't cancel me, guys. Don't cancel me. Okay, so I'm gonna let everybody, before we continue, I'm gonna let everybody introduce themselves, starting with Mzi.
Hi everyone, my name is Mzi. I'm creative director of Poets on an Island. Pleasure to meet you. Okay, say something, someone, please. It's awkward.
Just trust you guys.
Okay, moving on.
Who's going
we
next?
on.
Isaac.
Like someone
Uh-huh.
All right, the name is Isaac
Keep it
Yami.
organic.
save me. Someone release me, please.
Z.
What happened to Z?
Everyone just freeze. That's like the worst question you could ever ask me. I'm here.
Yeah, that was your network. That was your network.
Yeah,
I
that
go
was
by
me, my bad.
and yeah, I'm the director, and yeah, done.
Okay, next.
Oh God, you guys
Yeah,
are
that
too
is-
serious for show business. You guys are too serious for show business. I swear.
Bruh. Like, what do you even say? It's like that thing. Tell me about yourself. Like, bruh, I don't know.
Okay.
I didn't say nothing.
The job.
I don't know.
Z,
I want the job.
I like green.
in the way,
Like I'm broke, nigga. Just give me the job. You know, I'm not lying. I'm a hard
the ways of Marlo.
individual. I'm always punctual.
And I'm hungry. And
And
I'm
I'm
hungry and
hungry.
broke. That's why I applied.
My kids
And
gotta
broke.
eat.
That's why I applied. I don't waste my time with these questions.
I swear. Like, here's my CV,
For the
bro.
record,
Like,
I
it
don't
tells
know
you
these
everything
people.
you need. Yeah, you know us.
You're just
All
gonna
right,
keep
reintroduce yourself.
You know us. I refuse for you to.
I'm Read the Wordsmith. Yeah. My government name is Realize Mwase. I am I'm a writer, songwriter, script writer, director, spoken word artist, and a lot more awesome things. Yeah. I might,
The government name. Did you hear that? Government name.
Bro, government name, his license plate, serial number.
I'm that person, you know, like.
Yes, sir.
You know, when it comes to writing, I am that person. I am basically the kid born with a pen, can write anything under the sun, and on my day, no one can touch me. Just kidding. Yeah, that's me in a nutshell.
Yes,
I love
sir.
this stuff, and love spoken word.
All right. Lady Mpo.
Of course. Government name Poet Ndebele. I probably known as the Black Widow for some reason. I'm a poet, obviously, and I am oh yes, controversially I'm a feminist, and I don't know, what do you say next? I love life. I don't know. I'm dark inside but light outside.
Purr.
Yeah, that's it.
I don't know what that means. Okay. Chelsea and Naomi.
Hi, I am Ruka. I am a poet, a writer, a feminist as well, and this one's best friend. Oh, go on. I'm Naomi Ann. I am a musician and singer, and I'm her best friend.
Yes.
Yeah, cheese.
Wow.
Put it on pizza. Too much cheese. Put it on pizza.
Okay, we didn't forget anybody else, right? Unfortunately, the whole squad is not here right now, guys. African.
Who just make do
as per usual. And
as usual.
yeah, about this time last year, we had a show in North Cyprus. It was quite the spectacle. It was a sold-out show. We had a blast. We really had a blast. And today we're going to go behind the scenes of that. We're going to talk about the things that led towards the show. We're going to talk about the things that happened on the day of and after the show. And you're going to get to know these wonderful people a bit more. So I'm going to ask COVID. Sorry. Compose. I'm going to ask Z first.
Why am I open?
Okay. Z,
All right. Okay.
Z, how did you feel with the build up towards Let Our Words Speak? What was your expectation? What was your what was basically your view and feelings when you first heard about the show, when you were first put on board for the show?
Okay. Yeah, Let Our Words Speak.
Well,
you guys know I like to goof around. You guys know I like to goof around, right? So,
okay.
Let Our Words
Well,
Speak.
wait, so
My
who's
turn,
going
right?
first?
It's my turn, right?
Z's.
Yeah,
Z?
we can have it.
Okay. All right. Oh, okay. Let Our Words Speak.
Okay, fine. I'll go. All right. Well,
Yeah. Say something. Say something.
well, my initial reaction was excitement because for as long as I've been on this island, I'd never heard of anything like this. You know, people in the diaspora getting together on an island and essentially initiating an entire culture that hadn't been tapped before. So it was a monumental task. It was very, very exciting, but then soon after that excitement came a little bit of anxiety when the gravity of the situation actually hit me. It was also I was also a bit surprised because I didn't quite understand what my place in this entire, operation was. I figured, how the hell do you manage poets? Like, you can't. Like, art in and of itself, like, like, you can't like bottleneck that stuff. So it was really, really daunting at first, but then, like, the more I settled into it, the more, that excitement came back. It became like a really pleasurable experience. And I'm very proud of the work we did. I'm very proud of everyone, like each and every person that is in this entire group brought something different to the table. I mean, there were no two similar, like there were no two identical ways of expression. And I think that's beautiful. And to see that fully come into fruition, I mean, I started having lofty ideas, like this could be the next driver's role, all of that. And so Carnegie Hall, like just up there in lights. And it was a very beautiful experience.
All right, that's awesome.
Yeah. That's it.
Paul, how did you feel with the build up towards the show?
Well, for me, I think if I'm to be like brutally honest, it was really hard because what we have are a group of taskmasters who will not let you rest, first of all. And well, for me, I had chosen a very emotional topic in the first place, and to go through those emotions time again, because like if I tell you guys, we really practiced for that show. So to go through that time and time again was really emotionally draining. But honestly, I enjoyed getting to, because there's some people that I admired from afar. Chelsea, how you doing? But I enjoyed learning those people. I enjoy learning people and spending more time with those people.
What just happened?
I'm back. Sorry about that. I have returned. My phone took a break.
That's all right.
Yes. As I was saying, it was beautiful to learn people that way and to master hard work in the way that we did. And it was just a beautiful process. It was hard on some days, harder on some others, but all in all, I think it came together for the best.
All right. Chelsea, what it do?
Hi. I think for me, I found it really difficult at the beginning because I had never read my poetry out loud to anyone. And now there was like 7 to 10 people at the beginning when we were practicing that I had to read to and figure out what style I wanted to go with. And that made me really nervous for the show. But it was like every single day there's something new, there's something I had to overcome, there's something I had to learn. And it was fun learning from everyone since, you know, everyone has different styles, different ways of going about things. It was interesting, and it was a learning experience as a first time performer. And I feel like all my nerves were taken away the first few practices, so that for the show, the actual show, I actually wasn't nervous. And for that, I'm grateful for everyone who contributed to it.
Okay. How were rehearsals for you?
All right. Okay. For me, well, it's kind of crazy, you know, thing, the whole Poets on an Island thing, because um, I was there at its inception, basically, and for the whole thing, the title, Let Our Words Speak, and everything, that was our brainchild together. We literally sat down and went over that. You know, Zach had a very long title, and we had to stream, and then we had to trim it to Let Our Words Speak. For me, I felt a sense of duty. I wasn't nervous. I felt a sense of duty because I had decided to quit poetry. Like, I hadn't told anyone, but I was going to quit poetry. I was going to, you know, just kind of walk away from writing poems, maybe write a few novels in the future, make some great art, and then just continue with my life like that. I had made up my mind to quit poetry. So when Isaac approached me and said, "This is what's going to happen. We're going to have this show," for me, it brought back a sense of duty. I felt like I owed it to myself and those who knew me and those who'd been with me along this journey to actually go in there and give it my best. That's why I named my set Journeyman, because it was all about that travel, all about that experience. I had to fully bring it out there and uh, uh, just saying to get something from it. So I spent more time trying to understand the link between old and new more than actually being nervous. Like, Brian knows I'm always ready to go anytime. I might question myself, I might get conflicted, maybe in moments, maybe in certain separate moments, like actually thinking that I didn't have time to privately rehearse. Like, I'm going to, but I never privately rehearsed. I only rehearsed when I was with you guys. I didn't have an ideal accommodation situation that allowed me to actually practice. So I knew that when I was with you guys, I had to give it my best because I didn't have anywhere else to actually, like, get into my stuff. We were all too, it was a bit of a, pillar to post kind of situation. But thankfully, I don't think it impacted my performance that much. If anything, it made me more determined to see it off and see it through. So for me, I expected fireworks. At the end of the day, the people are going to like what they like. But I owed it to myself and to those that actually believe in me to do my best. So yeah, for me, that's that. That's my word on that question.
All right.
Thank you.
Isaac, how did you feel during rehearsals and what were your expectations for the show?
It's my turn. Yeah, I was figuring out how to share the video, which I did. I think I think for me, what was the hardest was 2 months earlier. You know, I was preparing to write for my qualification exam for my postgrad. Yeah, like whatever. I was planning for my exam, and I couldn't think about anything else. You know, like what I was thinking about was poetry, and thinking about, somehow it came to mind that we haven't done this already, you know? And I was thinking, ever since I wanted to shoot like a documentary basically about poetry on the island. So that idea came about again because I had an idea before, and that idea came again. So I was thinking, okay, fine, let me just do that. Let me just do that for a little bit. But then I thought about it. I'm like, but then the show could be better. And then ever since I started thinking that way, ever since I would sleep, I wake up, think about it every single time, and it was crazy. And I couldn't sleep until we had the venue. For me, that's the day I slept. That's the day when I realized that could work. Can everybody hear me?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, cool, awesome. Yeah, so basically for me, it was a nightmare because I was thinking, what if it doesn't happen, you know? So when it came to rehearsal time, I had already practiced 2 months before because I was thinking, okay, fine, if it does happen, that means there's going to be unnecessary pressure during that time. So me, I had practiced a month before. So every single time I was attending rehearsal and all of these things, I was done and I was ready already. So for me, seeing that happen, and then obviously the stress of planning out and all of that stuff is basically the stress that's interesting. But I was good. 2 months. I practiced. I think I was practicing, instead of reading that much for my exam, I could read maybe 1 hour, and then the next hour I do poetry. So that's how I did it.
All right. Mzee. Boy, what are your expectations, man?
Wait a minute, you, Brian, you're not answering anything.
Come
Yes,
on.
expectations.
I'm getting there.
Yeah, Brian.
Okay,
Yeah, like sounds like a journalist. Like sounds like a journalist.
Yeah, he's pulling that Trump shit
Wait,
on us.
Journalist is
I'll
this
expose
one.
you. I'll
No,
expose
wait.
your secrets and breakdown.
Wait,
He's playing this is CNN. Oh, wait a minute, I can't say this one. But then, yeah, CNN, you can cancel.
I think
me.
he answered.
Okay, my experience was it was both good and bad. My experience was it was a great show in the end. I did get physically frustrated on the day. I think because we generally had everything planned to the letter, but of course you can have a vision, but not everybody's going to run with your vision and take it as seriously as you take it and understand how we wanted to execute things. I was annoyed that the sound came literally 30 minutes, the mics came literally 30 minutes before showtime. I was annoyed that at some point we did have to run around to do things by ourselves. And I keep forgetting his name, the Turkish guy that kept annoying me. Yeah, he did get on my nerves several times during that day because it seemed like even if it wasn't my fault, it was my fault for some odd reason whatsoever. Somebody's not parking nicely downstairs. It's my fault, bruh. It did get annoying. and it kind of felt like a you people kind of situation. Like it kind of did feel a bit tad bit racist. And but at the end of the day, I think for me, when it got real was before we even got the venue. I think once we had the support from Professor Jim, from Kimber Dodge, from um, why did her name just escape my mind?
Oh yeah.
From Oya Kin. Once we had the support from them, I knew that this was going to be a success. It was going to be a success either way because Isaac and I were on a mean streak, and we kept on that mean streak and just kept killing anything we put our minds to during that time. And unfortunately, um, COVID kind of slowed us down a bit, and actually not in a bit. It slowed it put us to a complete stop. But either way, we're gonna come back bigger and better, and we're gonna execute with twice the effort. That being said, Chelsea, what was your feeling when you first got approached? So what's going on with everybody's live stream? Because what's going on with internet in Cyprus? It's supposed to be A class.
No,
We're back.
What's
Could you
going
repeat
on with
that?
the Wi-Fi?
I think I'll get fired if that.
Chelsea,
Yeah.
what was your experience when Isaac first approached you about the Poets on an Island initiative and the show?
At first, I definitely didn't expect how grand this would be. So at the beginning, my expectations were like, it's gonna be a little show, yes. I was supposed to perform earlier in December when we had talked, but that didn't go through. So Isaac pulled me aside and he's like, "Are you a performing artist?" And I'm like, "No, nope, not yet." And then from there, we started talking about what I could be performing on. And I think that's what birthed the whole story of representing my country and just figuring out, how grand this would be. But the thing is with everybody, I don't think we fully understood how big this would be. So in my mind, it was like, okay, I'm gonna do a show, it's gonna be fine. But it was bigger than I expected, and I don't know. Like that was you can't top that. And that was my first time performing. So that was a big first time for me. Do you have anything?
Okay. Yes. Now get to the juicy stuff. Realize Moasi. Or the clan of the masses. The Malawian vendor boy.
Yeah, bro. Malawian inventor all the way. Okay. Okay. But Isaac and his Avengers initiative, when Nick Fury says come, you can't say no. Like, I could not say no.
What?
When Nick Fury says come, yeah, you don't say no, bro. Like, who are you to say no to Nick Fury, bro?
Because he just bended over to it.
He bumped my DM and he's like, it's not something you can say no to, fam. What was I supposed to do? Yeah. This man took me out of retirement. I was enjoying my self-imposed retirement. I retired from poetry. I was now dealing in one specific language. The staff that never freezes was my companion. I was in a very good place. But no, Nick Fury to come through is like, with an initiative. And you remember that thing we founded back then? Yeah, that. Now we need to perform. So like, for me, it was a mixture of emotions. Like, in one hand, I felt like this is me basically not admitting I'm now too worn out for this. On the other hand, it was like, maybe this is my redemptive arc. Maybe this is how I return to form and actually prove something very essential to myself. Because, when something is gone in your mind as an artist, no matter how hard you work, you may not get it back for a long time. So I felt like, okay, maybe this is that spark that puts me back in my groove. So of course, I wasn't daunted by the fact that it would be a big show. I'm a big game performer. I love pressure. I like inviting pressure on myself. That's why I do everything last minute, including work deadlines, and sometimes it burns my fingers. But anyway, I basically welcomed the pressure. I didn't run away from it. I welcomed it. I wanted to get that adrenaline back, that rush. It was like getting another shot at life, feeling alive again. That's how powerful it felt for me. So trust me, this was the redemptive arc I needed, and I'm back thanks to this thing. So yeah, that's where I was at the time.
All right, dope. And Chelsea, what was the one thing that you didn't expect to happen on the day that affected you positively or negatively for the show?
First, I didn't expect myself to be as calm as I was, and seeing everybody else like backstage, Brian, Isaac, everyone was panicking. I've never seen you guys so stressed, and so it was chaotic. And I thought the roles would be reversed. That's what I expected from that. But you know, when you're in situations like that, you feel like people's anxiousness will rub off on you, and it's gonna create a whole like everybody's gonna feel the same thing. But no, I felt actually so calm, and I think I needed that to be the way I was on stage. Otherwise, I don't know how it would be. I really don't know how it would be. But the two of you managed to be calm on stage when backstage you were chaotic. You were chaotic. I'm not gonna.
I'm wearing a mask.
Things were.
She basically called herself better than y'all.
No, but like Isaac, I'd never seen Isaac, so I don't know how to express how you were. You were not Isaac that I knew. You were not. That was not the Isaac I knew. But yeah, it's just the emotions of the day.
Awesomeness. Paul. I don't know why he's laughing at, but he's dying. Like he's dying. Paul, what were the few things that kind of affected you in a positive or in a negative way before the show?
Well, of course, I share the same sentiments as Chelsea. You guys were like headless chickens backstage, but I feel like maybe that was necessary. You needed a little some. You guys were too calm before. It had to happen at that very moment. But I think the most overwhelming thing for me was just a basic support. You know, when you feel like something as cultural as poetry is dead in a certain society, and you try a show that big with a venue with so many spaces. Do you know when you get a big venue for something that might not turn out well, you just end up basically looking at empty seats, and I feel like that's soul crushing. But the fact that people came through, people showed out, whether they came for the poetry or they came for their friends or just to finish off the night, it was so overwhelming to have so many people come through and just be so supportive. And yeah, I think that was the most positive thing for me, apart from, of course, people's takeaway. But I really like, I can't thank people enough for showing up for something like that, because I would have been crushed if there were empty seats in that room.
I would have been overjoyed.
All right, guys. I'd love to stay with you, but I have to love and leave you guys.
All right, Brian, go. We don't need any sobby story. Go. Leave us. Cool. Leave. What do you think you are? Go. Be God.
Go be God. Go be a dad. Go be a dad.
That's how we are as poets. Like, he wanted to start. He wanted to weave a poem. Like,
Nah,
man, that's awkward. But anyways,
He gone.
taking over taking over from Brian. Yeah, I have no idea who that guy was. Also Chelsea, who freaked out backstage. I have no idea who that guy was, but I think the reason maybe probably that happened.
Guys, why?
Yeah.
Guys, why isn't anyone talking about how freaking calm I was and actually cracking jokes with Yao backstage? Yao motherfuckers used up my emotional energy so much. I was the only person backstage who actually kept his head.
The only reason why I would think Ree was calm is because I have seen you in that certain situation where you lost your mind, and then I looked at you weird. I'm like, this guy is crazy. Because we shared.
Remember when I punched the wall? Remember when I punched the wall that time when that kid screwed up my face? I literally punched the wall. I was going to beat him up. I was really going to beat him to a pulp.
So it looks like a ritual. It looks like a ritual because that time when you're directing another show, realized lost it, and then I looked at him. I'm like, why would someone lose it like this and stuff? But then when it happened,
I wanted to kill that kid.
And then in my head, I was like, no ways. But then the reason why I was really that in that state is because that I had seen 2 months ago, I felt like it was like just crashing from just like wait a minute, no.
Things fall apart.
So I wasn't ready to accept the fact that what I had seen 2 months ago was going to crash. And for that
it never works out how you see it.
Yeah, like for that reason, I was really, really pissed. But for me, I learned a lesson that basically you can't do everything by yourself as much as you would want, and it was a lesson indeed. But for me,
Zach, do you remember the moment? Do you remember the moment when something went wrong? Something went wrong, I think, with the projector. And then the audience started laughing. Then Naomi came backstage. She was like, guys, they're laughing at us. Can you hear that?
Oh yeah.
Isaac.
Yes, Mpo.
This is a compliment. It might not sound like one, but this is a compliment.
Okay.
You look like a half-price Reggie page right now.
What?
I look like a what?
Have you watched Bridgerton?
Of course I did.
That's
Bridgerton. Wow. I'm looking like Isaac. Duke, but on a budget.
In one universe.
But on a budget.
Isaac, can we agree to ban any references to Bridgerton? That cheesy ass show has no place in a serious, solemn conversation such as this one with Poison Island. Take that cheese and put it on a pizza. I want to hear that shit.
I think before we deflect from the reason why we're having this today, that show serves it's like a Netflix on Friday. You know, it's like a chick flick. Chick flick is supposed to be on a Thursday, but it's on a Friday.
Chick flick Thursday,
yeah, but then it's fine. It serves its purpose. It's not serious, but it's cool. It's entertaining enough, I think.
It's cheesy. Them lines are corny. No man is ever gonna tell you that stuff. That's some corny ass shit.
All right, cool. All right. I'm gonna ask. What's that? Ree, like, at what point did you feel like this was real? Like you know, times where you go, like, at what point did you like, oh my goodness, this is real. This is happening. At what point did you see that happening?
I think there's a solitary moment when I stepped on stage. The first time I saw the venue, the first time I stepped on stage, I closed my eyes for a minute and just took it all in. Like, that's the first moment it initially hit me that, okay, we're going to do a show. And then when that funny stamp when that funny stamp and the artist ID came out, that's when I was like, oh God, there's no breaking out of this. I can't wake up with it. I can't wake up with a headache. I can't wake up with a stomach ache or something, or a toothache. Or, there's this time they wanted me to perform it. I used to string face, and then I just had a toothache and escaped that shit. It was not the time. Even if my legs were gone, I was still going to crawl up on stage. Like seeing that ID, like seeing that thing called like artist, like that thing written artist,
The artist
ID. That was
Yeah.
that was a real moment. That was a real moment for me. That tag was a real moment. Like I slept wearing it. Like I won't even lie, guys. The night before the show, I went to bed wearing that shit. I wore that shit all day. I didn't take it off. Like that was as real as it came to me. And then the third, the last moment it became real when people shaking hands with people and they're telling you that they're filling up the venue, they're checking out the restaurant, and they're going inside. I'm like, goodness, are they here for us? Is there another event? Like, what on earth is going on? Like, that was very real. That shook me a little. I was like, yeah, it's real. We are definitely going to do this. If we screw up, it's done. It's going to be written in history. But anyway, I trusted you guys more than I trusted myself, so I knew it was going to be good.
Take that up. You have a funny story even when you start real. Like take that one up.
Yo, for me when it got real was, it was first stepping on stage. Like yo, bruh, this is not a drill. This is absolutely not a drill. And like just coming to that realization, like, oh shit, guys, like why are there so many seats? Like, why are there so many damn seats in this place? And then like, and then after that, oh, the stamps. Oh man, getting those stamps, like that was
the smell, bro. Stays with me.
Bro. And bear in mind, some of our compatriots were playing through hangovers, so like that was pretty awesome. And like, and like,
what's a hangover when you're
the black bag in every rehearsal?
I swear. Like, bruh,
the black
people
bag,
were going in shift to go take a nap.
The black bag every rehearsal.
I swear, everyone is going to take shifts to go take a nap. No, you cannot. Please. People's parents are watching. People's parents are
this time where during practice, Z had gone
You're
missing.
incriminating yourselves.
Z went missing for a whole
Your parents
hour,
are going to watch this stuff.
half an hour. And then he came back.
Your parents are going to see this stuff.
Where the hell were you? And turns out this guy was taking a very tactical nap behind the seat.
Tactical naps, guys. I swear by them. I live and die by tactical naps. Yes. Yes. Just naps so you can get the job done. Bro.
G. Remember that funny moment? Remember that funny moment when GDG was munching chips or Brian was talking?
You guys are back.
Why you the vex, my brother? Please calm down.
You guys remember?
He was big man. He was big man, bro.
Okay, let's go to Mpo. Mpo has been quiet.
Guys, behind the scenes story. Dropping off at the bus. And Z, what did he say? He said,
you didn't enter the bus.
You didn't enter the bus. Guys, we almost didn't make it to that show because I almost got my ass whooped in the bus.
The same day.
Yo, the same day. We're sitting at the very back of the bus. There was no exits. And bruh, like, man, that was at the point where I couldn't do a push-up. So, like, trying to break that emergency exit class, it was out of the question.
Wait, you mean that Sunday? You mean that crazy Sunday when you resurrected and we had more gin and we ended up and we spilled the Sprite, fam? That Sunday was sexy.
The pain, yes. Dog. Yo.
All right, let's run down what we have, and then we talk about everything else.
Your
Paul,
future. What about the
haven't said
future?
anything. Paul, I haven't said anything in terms of how and when did it start feeling real. Yeah, Paul.
For me, well, I think I have a very active
Is it
imagination.
imagination?
So as soon as Isaac came to me with the prospect of a show, of course in the back of my mind it was going to be something small, maybe in a cafe or in something, and then you read something that you've written and then we move on, we go on. But when Isaac told me that we're moving the show because like the time frame wasn't working for the magnitude of the show that he was going for, that's when I started thinking, okay, maybe this may be bigger than me, bigger than just a few pieces in your phone to read to people. But I think the time that I understood what we were working towards, what we were going for, was when we made our promo video, when we shot that video, when we saw it for the first time. Like, even before we were part of a show, we were part of something that had to be advertised on that level. And I think at that point, I realized that you can't sell something to people with that great a thing and then give them nothing. That's when I realized, wait, we have to go big. There's absolutely no option, because you can't advertise something so greatly and give people the bare minimum. That's when it became really real and really big for me.
It's great that you took us back when we shot the promo, and for me also, when I looked at the poster, because what I had in mind was, I don't want a poster that had like just a stupid microphone, I don't know, flowers or coffee or whatever they put. Like, when I saw our faces,
Laid out.
That ugly ass
So,
CIU logo.
I saw black people.
Bag.
I saw black people.
Bag.
I saw black people, 6 black people on a poster full of it. I was like, you know what? This is a statement. And I remember when someone was, I remember when someone said, where are the white people? I'm like,
crackers. I want no crackers in the house, Lord.
They've way too many platforms. Jeez, like.
I'm like, what? I'm like, what white people? Because in my head I was like,
cancelled.
Do you know how happy I was that TIU screwed us over? I was so happy that TIU screwed us over for the game. I actually support that. I am pretty happy that they screwed us over.
Although slightly, I was scared, in the sense that since we're not going to involve diversity as they say it is, I felt like we're being like over ambitious. However, I knew that over ambitiousness can be killed by perfect planning, because I knew that we have to advertise, we had to do photo shoots, we had to do videos, we had to do all of those things. I knew that with all of that stuff in place, we were going to kill over ambition idea that people thought we had. And for me, when I saw the poster, when I went to print the poster itself, like the first poster in gloss, I was like, wow, this is it for me. Like, I resonated, and I'm thinking, yeah, the dream has finally arrived. But then I want to talk to Chelsea about, like, Chelsea, were your expectations met after the show, basically, like when you performed?
After the show?
Mm-hmm.
After the show
Were
was
wild,
because, everything has been done, and then you sit there and you're just reflecting on every single moment of the day and what could have gone a different way, what could have happened better. But then you're like, we still did that, we pulled that off. And what was crazy was people were like, you're the poet. that was a crazy moment. This one time we were at a party, I think, I don't remember whose place it was, and this this person comes up. It's dark, pulls out a flashlight, and he's like, looks at me and it's like, "Oh, you're the poet." And I'm like, wow, if Isaac was here at this moment, he'd be like, "Yeah, see, I told you." These are the moments we talked about even before having the show. And for that to happen, that was surreal, honestly.
Yeah, that's awesome. I'm glad to hear. Ree, were your expectations met? Did I force you out of retirement for a good reason?
Yeah, you did force me out of retirement. I was content with being retired. Very content. It was a good idyllic time for me. I only needed just some liquid, some liquid courage for joy. That's all I needed. But anyway, I would say this. I would say, it was nice. We shall not mention how poetry gets you, Nuki. But anyway, the point is, it was pretty. It was for me, it was an epic return to form. It was an epic return to form. I think I gave a great performance. I don't know.
I listened to your poem. I was listening to your poem, your last piece, your father piece, brah.
Yeah.
Dog. Oh my goodness, that poem.
Yes, my philosophy on poetry.
I was listening from Oscar's vlog. I was like, yo, did you say all of that stuff? Jeez. Bro, gonna go home, your dad is gonna look at you weird. I'm like, if he listens, I'm like,
here's my thing about my philosophy about poetry. I believe that it is fine for a poet to decorate the experiences, polish it up, round off the edges. I mean, at the end of the day, it's poetry. You have poetic license. You can say whatever you want. But for me, I've always been at my absolute crushing best when I'm just honest. Like that thing, it took way more courage than I let on. I literally had to wrestle with the decision to perform that poem right until the final day. Like every day I would wake up, I would question that poem's place. It made my entire set too long. I performed for 22 minutes. I actually have the whole video. I performed 22 minutes. No one felt that, but it was 22 minutes actually. And being in that space where you actually say something real and not just say something, for me that meant the world. Like I could have easily written bars about other things or impressed with some technical flaws and everything. Like I'm very good at that stuff. But for me, I felt like there's no better way to return to form than to return with what makes you very good at what you do. And for me, that's honesty. Like if you're not gonna be honest with me and you want to perform poetry, like what are you doing? Like if you're writing, it's fine to not be honest. I mean, guys, it's written. It's written. But when I'm hearing your voice and your emotion, to imagine that you actually use all those things to tell me something that's not real, for me, that's like heartbreaking. So I can't give what I don't want to receive. I want honesty and nothing but the absolute truth. So getting into that space, it was very dark. It was very dark to actually even conceptualize the whole thing. But the origin of my set was I performed some of those poems for a friend of mine who was battling suicidal issues. Like way before I even picked them for journeyman, I performed them for someone who was actually fighting suicide. And she said that whole set in its sequence gave her a reason to want to live. So for me, I'm like, okay, it might not be my best poetry in terms of writing, but maybe there's something special to these poems. Let me just give them in that order. And the dad piece came like in the second year. So I just decided, okay, maybe let me actually start getting real about my relationship with my father and everything I've been through. So if it wasn't for you, Zach, that poem would have never been performed, like never ever. I only did that because I have so much respect for you and what you did in that particular moment that I resolved to give it my absolute best as you know it. So that's basically what coming out of retirement meant for me. And post retirement, there's books in the works. I'm working on an album right now in lockdown. It's unfortunate that we're in lockdown. I would have invited you guys to just for a listening session, but I'm sure I'll organize something when the time comes that you guys get the first listen of the album. It's called Usual Suspect. It's a double meaning kind of thing. So that's where I am.
Awesome, man. Awesome. Congratulations in advance. I'm still sending you that verse. I think I have the verse I'm supposed to. But yeah, it's incredible that you gave it your all, and then you shared some of the intimate details of your life. And welcome back, Brian. You're in a car, but it's fine. Cool. So I'm gonna ask you. Yeah, I'm gonna ask you, what were your expectations met from the show? Apart from you not performing your original stuff, because I know he's gonna say that in the whole of that. Scrap that. Like, were your expectations kind of met from the show, regardless of the fact that they were not your original stuff?
Hey, I still want to do my original set, even if it means me flying back to Cyprus to do my original set.
Yeah.
This man sold. This man got sold. Just get a good videographer and shoot the whole thing. Like, let it rest for it.
my pride won't let me. Basically,
yeah, just shoot something.
Were my expectations met for the day? Yes and no. My expectations were met because the whole thing came full circle. It was an amazing show. It was executed with excellence, like beyond excellence, and it was executed because people put in that effort. I remember from day one, practice 1 and practice 2 and 3. There was a practice where I got pissed, where I really got annoyed. I remember going home and I was so pissed that day because nothing went right during that practice. And I don't know whether people weren't feeling practice that day or people would just have their own battles to face. But I really felt like people were out of tune for a second. I think maybe they were overwhelmed. And when it now came to the day, and I remember the last practice we had, everybody was so in tune, everybody was so ready. Even Ayo came through with the fire. It definitely was one of
yeah, we bought chicken that day. I know, Chicken Planet.
Exactly. It's about the lunch, not the practice. This man is lying to you. It's about the lunch, not the practice. He got some nice Chicken Planet and is now glossing over the whole experience like it came from heaven. Get out of here.
God, Brian, God.
I mean, you like the chicken, Brian.
To talk about that food.
He's chicken.
I remember having to use my birthday money to feed you guys on that day. And it was quite sad because I knew I couldn't get myself what I really wanted to get myself for my birthday. And I remember my birthday.
Now the secret is how they know how we got the chicken. Now they know how we got the chicken, but it's fine.
I know. Now we know how we got the chicken.
You never reveal these secrets. These secrets are not supposed to be revealed. We should know that we just ate chicken. Trying to make us feel guilty. Trying to guilt us into feeling sorry for you because you spent your money. It's wrong.
Don't put that shit on us.
It's constitutionally wrong to do that. You don't do that. Honorable member, you don't do that.
I remember my birthday being quite sad and thinking I could have been selfish. And I was like, why did I allow these people? I should have just let them go hungry. But yeah, it was worth
Honorable
it.
Member.
Honorable member. To be honest, it was worth it in the end because at the end of the day, one thing I really wanted from the show was to see everybody have fun and to see everybody be happy because at the time, that was before COVID. At the time, most of us were leaving sooner than we were going to leave very soon, and it was probably going to be the last time we chilled like that as a group. And one reason I can say the show was a success was because it did bring everybody closer as a family, and it made us more as a unit. We got to understand each other's backstories, we got to understand each other's different art forms. We got to know and see Chelsea grow on the stage. We got to see Ayo come out of his
That
shell.
was the best hazing you can ever get.
Yeah.
We she got hazed by the stage.
You know, so I think at the end of it, I did get the most. I didn't get to do my set, but yeah, it is what it is.
Guys, doesn't Paul ever catch a cold? Like, you know, I'm asking for a friend because guy with all this skin stuff, even on the day of the show. How does Paul not
Want a
catch a
show?
cold?
You want a show?
I
I
need
can
to
give you
know-
a show. Is that what you're asking
I
for? Are
need-
you asking for a show?
I need to
Is that
know.
what you're looking for?
I have your number,
I'm an
Paul. I have your
honorable
number,
man.
okay?
Okay.
We have seen too much. You're all veteranized. You're not innocent.
I don't know. I'm not going to answer that. My child Chelsea is looking at me. No. I have to keep maintaining that.
Honorable members.
All right. So as we are drawing to a close, right? I'm going to give you like Z and Z. Can we talk about the expectations? And Paul
My
come off
expectations.
where they met and yeah, like looking back.
I don't lie, like my expectations, like man, like all of this got sprung on me. Ryan was like, come, let's go to the international office. And I'm like, oh, okay, cool. Road trip. We go to the international office and then we sit.
Brian
and I find just like a whole
ambushing
bunch
people.
of people. Yeah, like there's just a whole bunch of people. They're like,
That's what you
hey,
do.
by the way, I found as a creative director. I'm like, sorry, I didn't even provide a CV. Like, what's saying you go just cast me into creative director like that? No.
Grace located
Like,
you,
no
brother.
way. Bro.
Unprofessionalism, nepotism, and corruption are the rule of the game.
Like, bro, I'm just like,
Some idiot mean corruption.
Putting your family members into government.
Like, bro.
Isaac
yes.
and Brian.
I just got someone else like, oh, well, I'm just happy to be here. And then like, yeah, but then like as far as expectations go, like I said, like I didn't really grasp the gravity of all of this. And suffice it to say, my expectations were met and exceeded above and beyond. Like I didn't know how big this thing was until, you know, like all the little pieces started to like fall together. You know, the final straw, like I said, was like going to BKM and looking and saying, wow. Like just even sitting, you know, like till like midnight in the editing room when the trailers were being edited and, you know, like try and, you know, throw in my own little 50 kurush in there, you know, just to feel like I did some, you know, all of that, you know, just the sheer amount of work and, you know, like work ethic and determination that was going into it, you know, Isaac and Brian coding, you know, like a link to like buy tickets and all of that and like book and reserve seats. I was just like, damn, like what? And then like even the stress of, you know, like on the day when we're like, bruh, how are we gonna ID people? And then like we went and like thought about like 3D printing, you know, like stamps, you know, like and get some ink and all of that. Like that was, yeah, like all of that coming together. That was just like, whoa, like this is pretty awesome. And like, look what we did. And then like also the only disappointment really was, you know, COVID. COVID hit, we were supposed to go to LIVK and the lockdown was announced literally the day before we were supposed to go and perform in LIVK. So like that was pretty much a bummer. And yeah, bruh.
The day off.
The day off, actually, bruh. Like everyone was all dressed up. Like everyone went to CAF, like, okay, you know, let's have a meal, you know, keep the energy up. And then boom, ESCOM. And then, like, it was a wrap after that. So like, yeah. That's really the only disappointment, and it was through no fault of ours, no fault of anyone's here. It was just, yeah, some nigga ate bad soup in China, and like, like that was pretty much it.
Be careful, brother. They will cancel you. Of course, you need to be canceled, guys. That's how we become famous.
Online presence.
Yeah.
Bro, exactly. I have no online presence. You can't cancel me. I quit. Can't find me. I quit.
All right, Mpo. Take over.
I think I can safely say that my expectations were not only met, they were like way over exceeded because for one thing, of course, the one thing that I never doubted was that the people I was working with were going to perform and give a spectacular show. I never doubted anyone at any point. But you know, I feel like I can't stress this enough. The amount of people that were there, you do not understand how many times I've been walking or at a party or anywhere and somebody has asked me if I'm wearing underwear. That just because you do not understand exactly. Yes.
Oh, that's a pickup.
Yeah, you gotta tell people why though.
Context.
Oi.
I'm like, you have to tell people context though, because I'm like,
context. Yes.
Hey,
oh my goodness,
or something.
Is my opening line, I basically alluded to the fact that I wasn't wearing underwear because
were you wearing underwear?
You didn't allude. You not allude. You.
Some things are better left to the imagination, Isaac.
I can't imagine, please no.
Some things are better left to the imagination. But then you like, in as much as it's a creepy thing to ask a person, it makes me realize the gravity of what we gave out. You know, our output, we put in a lot of hours, we put in a lot of work, and in as much as, you know, a few times like you doubt how much the output is going to have an impact, you start asking yourself, are all these hours worth it? But you know, when you go through something like that, when you go to a random place and someone is like, oh, you did Poets on an Island, right? And then it's just, I don't know, it's really overwhelming. And you know, when you're practicing and people are giving pointers and all of that, you start feeling like maybe here we're biting off more than we can chew. But guys, watching all of you come out, do your thing the way you did. Of course, you guys might say I have a favorite, but Chelsea, oh my God. But it's just like, I don't know, man.
You have a favorite. You have a freaking favorite.
I'm the favorite's favorite.
I mean, but you guys, I feel like I want great things for my life going forward. I want great things for my life, but this will forever be one of the greatest things that ever happened to me. In more ways than one. I big things, but this will always.
You're watching too much Bridgerton. Too much Bridgerton.
If I get married to the richest man alive, this will still strike top 10.
I can't believe the richest guy is gonna be. I can't believe you're gonna marry the richest guy and he's still gonna tell him not to buy Lando.
I have section that's richest man alive. Gee,
and guess what? The richest man is not gonna buy any underwear because But anyways,
what the hell, bro?
All right. Okay. All right. Have I asked this, Chelsea? Have I asked you this already? I think I did, right? Were your expectations met? Yes.
Oh yes. I mean, like no, like expectations. Let's say first rehearsal were here, and then when we got to see the stage and we got to see when we're shooting the promo, that went all the way up. And then the show itself, seeing the people that were there, seeing our friends who pulled up, people like we thought that the empty seats, but it was crowded and it was more than you could ever expect. Like I don't think you think of it. I don't know about Isaac. Like you had this vision, but it was, to me, it was bigger than all that. Like even if I had a vision of everything that happened, it was the moment the show was still so much bigger than I could.
Sorry, I didn't.
Is that Ayo?
Yeah, I'm about to mute him even. All right, cool. Go on. Until he's ready. Yeah, go on.
He's on mute. Did you do that?
Yeah, I did that because he just entered in without any, like, whatever.
Didn't even buy us dinner first. He just did enter.
Yeah, I think he's gonna admit that.
Why you guys are allowed to speak and I'm not allowed to speak? That's unfair.
Yeah, plus switch on your camera. Don't worry, please. We all know how you look like. It ain't gonna change. It ain't gonna change.
Well,
I love it.
okay.
I was in some shrine
I
somewhere.
don't know where do they press for this video stuff now.
Yeah, I
was in the shrine, guys.
Say all the questions with me.
dude, they're just walking up. What? What level of seriousness is this?
No. I've been awake since. I've been awake. I mean, I don't think I've combed my hair in like 4 weeks, so maybe that's the problem.
Wow. Anyways, you just ruined what Chelsea was saying. But anyways, before we
I want to hear what Wayne has to say.
yeah, we're gonna bombard him. He's gonna like give us like a one stream because we're almost done anyways.
Yeah.
But I think as you said, that having the vision in my head, it was strenuous because at some point I felt like most of you were not understanding it entirely because like you can't like when something is in your head, it's even if you explain it is the best way ever, sometimes people might not see it exactly, you get what I mean? But then when everything came into place, when you all say that, oh, I understand after the show, when you say, oh, I get all of that, like that is exactly what I've been trying to say from day one. And for it to happen that way, and then for you guys to say you have seen it and then you have realized what it was, for me, I felt very happy because I knew that, okay, fine, I've managed to reach through you guys and you understood where and what basically I was intending and everything. For me, as we were going like as we're ending the show, when I look back at it, I understand when I know like I feel like preaching now, but I don't want to preach. I understand when they say things happen for a reason. I remember being stressed. Like I never thought the idea of having it somewhere else other than CIU was a reality, you know. Although I had people who could help. I remember this one time I was with Brian and then we were helping Kimber with the play. And there was this dope venue we could have used again, which is not BKM. And then I remember looking
Our first choice.
Yeah, that was our first choice venue. And I remember looking into that idea at that venue. And then I told Brian, like, this place could be lit and you know, all of these things. And then when CIU started with its quack of you should be diversified and all of these things and stuff, I started now considering trying to look for that venue. Yeah, trying to consider for that venue now. And when I inquire about that venue now, and then that venue was available. But then the funny thing is when I was reading the text now, because the text was like, oh, we want this venue. All right, the venue is available, but there's a kicker to it. There's a better venue that is more popping and fresh at the moment. And then I'm thinking, what's better than the better venue that we're supposed to use? Because if we'd use that venue to this, we're still gonna be like it's CIU doesn't compare to that venue. Like to that venue, it's hard. Like it's amazing. And someone to tell you that there's an amazing venue on top of another amazing venue, for me now, that was like a fire of hope in me. Like, wow, okay. And then when I went to the venue now, and then I just realized why CIU had said no. And I realized why it made sense that you cannot do a great show in Amphi 3. It's not possible. I can't do that. I can't perform in that place again because it's mad. It's mad. I can't personally.
You really
Can't. Like,
can't, dog. You really can't.
I can't
Still
because it's
employing
That's why we
you,
do Africa Day and shit.
Remember
Oh my
that.
God.
I
It's
know,
been
but then
elitist, fuck.
they don't perform. They don't employ me to do poetry at the work, so it's fine. But for me, I'm curious about the future because COVID changed everything, and I think what I'm looking into is it's grand. It's grand performances that affect hearts, that impact people. You have no idea how many people are asking me about Mpo. Until now, I now know why people are asking about Mpo because it's about the adult statement. I don't know, but now I know why people, because everybody asks. Because everybody's always asking me about. You have no idea how many people I say no with your number and all these things, but it's crazy. It's crazy. Should I give them? Or I don't know, but yeah, it's been crazy. But the point is, I want more engaging art, and that is what we presented that night. That was more engaging art. That was art that could speak to hearts. And when people say they were changed, because I was talking to certain people who said they felt like they were changed after the show and so forth and so forth. And I felt like we did exactly what we're supposed to do. Art is supposed to affect, and it affected a lot of people. Ayo, before I give it to Ayo, I'm gonna give everybody a chance to speak about
Yo.
what they've been up to and what you've been up to and what you expect the future to be like. So I'm gonna throw it to V. I will go last because I is gonna he's gonna talk about a lot of things and stuff. I'm gonna start with Realize. But Realize has told us what he's been up to already.
Yeah, he told us.
What I've been up to. Yeah, that's the
you have an album and everything.
The non-constructive stuff. Non-constructive stuff.
We don't want to know about other stuff.
It's equally interesting. It's non-constructive, but it's equally interesting. But hey, guys, I was actually thinking.
And then your final thoughts. Basically, final thoughts.
I was actually thinking about something though. Should I think compiling those pieces we did into written form, if possible, would be especially good. And who knows what can happen with it? I mean, writing stuff is good. You document it, because looking at where we are right now, where we are in need of footage from that event, we still don't have full footage from TIU RTV. So basically, at some point, that content has to be documented. In a sense,
you need to plan a heist to get that
and preserved. So we need to find a way to preserve what we've done and build off of the back of that. That's what I think. And I just feel like next time I know this might feel like we've been granted some sort of reprieve, and next time we'll know what to do. But the truth is, it's always different next time. We owe it to ourselves to remain passionate, humble to some extent. I'm not saying fully humble, because we're not exactly on the same level with everyone. But anyway, the point is, to remain passionate. Just keep doing what you do best. I'm simply too good for that. Yeah. So you work hard, keep applying the same principles, and basically network better. I feel like at this particular moment would do well to network, because we don't know how long this is gonna last, but we can have opportunities in the middle of this. So that's what I think. I think we're a great, talented bunch, and it's been an honor to be with you, and I can't wait for us to hit the stage again. That's all I gotta say.
Awesome. Thanks, Ree. Z, your takeaways, what you've been up to, and what the future holds, basically.
Yes, sir. Sorry, I think that's my network. Yeah.
Did you hear me?
Sorry.
Your takeaways, what you've been up to, and the future.
My takeaway from all of this.
Yeah,
my takeaway from this
we're
entire
looking back
experience.
and then.
Okay, well, let me first look at it. from a purely artistic point of view. I got to see, hear, and experience 6 different flavors of, poetry. So that's obviously like expanded my horizons and, showed me how so many other untapped ways of like self-expression go and so on. So, but on the day at BKM, because the tech guys were screwing up, I ended up being the one like operating the projectors and all of that. I had never touched that thing before in my life. A mixer, me, no ways. And then like, yeah. And also like I was borderline dusted, so like that was cool. No pressure. So yeah, just getting that hands-on experience and being thrown into like the deep end like that was pretty awesome. And like I didn't do too badly, so like that was fun. Also management, managing yourself, your emotions, and also like work, fun, striking that balance. Like that was a really like a good takeaway. Another one was just being a fly on the wall. I mean, Isaac, you, Brian, and Ree basically laid down most of the foundations. So there was still more work to be done, but then you guys did a whole lot of the heavy lifting in the initial stages anyway. So, just like sitting there from, like a fly on the wall perspective, just to see like just how much it took for all of this to come together, for it to actually meet at this point and actually like come into fruition. Like that was a very eye-opening and humbling experience for me, being able to like see just how much work went in, be it finding the venue, be it deciding on, like how to distribute tickets, how to marketing content, visual content and visual aid for like each and every single performer, all of that catering. Yeah, man, from the tech and logistics standpoint, that was very, very eye-opening. And I don't think I've ever gotten that much of like hands-on experience regarding all of that. So like that was pretty, pretty awesome. Like I learned a lot. I genuinely learned a lot.
All right, man. I'm glad you did. Glad you did. It's always interesting when people learn and you think we're just having fun and all of that. Chelsea, the takeaways, what you've been up to, and yeah,
definitely
future
for me to share my art to the public, and that's not something I'd ever thought I would do, not under my own name, but the show definitely opened that up for me, and I'm excited to show the world more of my art, and having me there perform with me. You guys don't know, she's actually nervous to perform, and having her perform with me when we're both nervous and we both don't share as much of our art, that actually meant a lot. Don't cry. That actually meant a lot. And I know that in the future both of us will. Oh no. Both of us will be able to share more of that and bless the world with that. Right?
Yes, of course. I'm looking forward to it. All of it.
Yeah, awesome. Brian, and then last info.
First things
Brian.
first, Chelsea's answer sounded so curated. Like she wrote that down.
Exactly.
Of course, we all know that Chelsea is Miss UN and all of. Yeah, Brian.
Hey, Malala, eat your heart out. Greta, who? Who is Greta? Who is this Greta? Who is this Greta Thunberg?
Who's this one?
All right, Brian.
Right.
The takeaways.
yeah, basically, my takeaway was watch out for Poets on the Island. I only say this: we are legit. We're killing it, and we're gonna stay killing it. And what we did last year was just like tip of the iceberg. And yes, what I've been up to right now is quite confidential. I have to kill you if I told you.
As if you can kill anybody, but it's fine.
Isaac.
I'm allowing. We'll send the witchcraft from here. Well, I'm more in touch.
Witchcraft.
Oh.
I'm protected by the blood of Jesus, my brother.
Let him protect you.
Oh.
All
My
right,
mother prays. You can't touch me.
Go on, Brad. Go on.
But yeah, regardless, basically working on some stuff that's going to affect even POAI and in a major way, and it's going to give us a platform, an international platform. And yeah, it feels great to be home, eating proper beef. And
wow,
yeah,
weird flex, but okay.
and pork ribs. Just saying. But it feels
my heart.
Transition into this year is going to be quite great. I was happy to work with each and every single one of you to get to share stage. It's been amazing. I miss you guys a whole lot, and I can't wait to be on stage with you guys again. And yeah, 2021 is going to be lit again. That's what I can say.
Awesome. Madam Po, takeaways, what you've been up to and all of that.
Takeaways are who's playing marimba, first of all?
Yeah, Liz.
Okay, that's cool. I remember a finish of one speech that I once heard. I mean, it's a common statement, but the way that guy did it stood out for me. He basically just said, watch this space. And I don't, like, from the first day we practiced to the day we did the show, I don't doubt that each and every one of you are destined for greatness. And one thing that I'm not going to do for anyone is to put a bracket on what that greatness is. Whatever you endeavor to do, whatever you pursue, I am sure it's going to be spectacular. Each and every one of you. I am sure of it. I kind of knew it when we did our first practice, but by the time we finished that show, I was sure of it. In whatever these people want to do, these people are going to do it to the greatest of their abilities, and they're going to be the greatest of people. I do not doubt. I put my money on that.
Yes.
Receive.
Manifesting financial greatness, please. Hey, we can't be broke all our lives.
I still want to wear my yeah, but it's all right.
As for what I've been up to be very honest, I guess because this is my yes, other people are watching, but this is my family, so I'm able to share it. As to what I've been up to, I've been kind of struggling because there's things that I want to do in life, basically, that I can write down and articulate through poetry. But also there's things that I'm going through in life that I feel need to be articulated and given out through poetry. But at the same time, I don't want to be, you know when you're a writer and you're someone who puts out content, you don't want to be, for example, something that is personal to me right now, I want to be the girl that gained weight and became a body positive poet. It's kind of a cliche, but at the same time, it's what you're going through, so you can't exactly ignore it. So I've been on a journey of
Ree, can you mute yourself?
Oh my God, realize.
I'm sorry.
What is going on in Realize's house?
As I was saying,
What's
I've been
wretched?
kind of on a journey of trying to figure out where to go next. I mean, I'm sure of where I want to go, but what to do now. To not only be a cliche, but to put out things that are personal to me. I don't write commercially. I write what I feel. I put out what I feel at the time, and I write where I am. So struggling between, you know, being who you are at the time, experiencing that, and putting that down as the content of the value, and you know, and dividing it between being a cliche and somebody who just, you know, speaks for that cause. Because what happens when that phase goes away? Do I stop being a body positive poet because that part of me is gone, or do I continue with it? As a person with very vivid commitment issues, I want to be straight on the things I commit myself to. And so
Are you gonna
right
start wearing
now,
underwear?
What? What?
you guys, anyone, whether the poets or people watching this, you're welcome to buy me underwear. I'm a large. So I'm large. Please buy me underwear. If you feel I should be wearing underwear more often, I will not answer whether or not I have underwear. But if you want to fund that, you're welcome to say so. I will be appreciative of your efforts. But the basic thing is, I'm sure when Isaac is not gonna like this, when the universe is ready, it's gonna be time for me to give out what is meant for me right now. I believe in meant to be. Meant to be doesn't mean meant to be always. It means but to be right now. And when my right now comes, it will be given to everyone. But all in all, my basic takeaway is watch out for these people. And I'm not saying just the poets. There's people, hardworking people, that put their all into the show happening, into Poets on an Island being Poets on an Island and staying the way it is. All those people, watch out for those people, because greatness is not it's not like an option. We're not debating that. We're not discussing that. It's something that is going to happen. So just keep watch of that.
Oh, thank you so much, Mpho. I believe everybody has heard that we're gonna be all great and all of that stuff, as long as we work hard and all of that stuff. So I'm gonna hand over to Ayo, and then Ayo is gonna give us his experience and everything. And then lastly, I'm gonna share videos that people sent us on their experience, and then if we could react together, and that will be the end of the stream. So Ayo, so basically you're briefing us on your experience, what you thought when you approached, your expectations, what you're working on, the takeaways, basically. It's over to you. Greet people, don't be. Yeah, cool.
Thank you.
We're
so much.
live
Good.
on YouTube.
Yeah, I know. I was on YouTube. Good afternoon, everybody. I don't know. I'm a bit shy. I don't know how to talk to another. But anyways, so how did I feel when I was approached? Okay, so I think it was Isaac texted me on Instagram, and like you probably know, I don't reply messages because I'm busy and stuff. So, anyways, Isaac texted me on Instagram, and I was like, we are doing this, and I was like, I mean, Brian and Isaac, I remember it was we went to Reed's apartment in Gonyeli. We went to I'm not going to say we went to an apartment in Gonyeli where Reed was staying. There's a whole story behind this. I didn't want to say that, but okay. I mean, so anyways, we went where with Reed, and then we just said this. We said it in passing. and then we kind of made a mental plan.
It was his
So it
birthday,
was something I kind of knew about. Yes, it was his birthday. I mean, we had chips. I remember. Oh, nice, good times. So we had like a mental plan of it, and then it was suddenly a reality. So like that's the first thing. Yeah, that's like we say a lot of things that we're going to do. I'm going to lose weight. I'm going to join the gym. I mean, Brian actually joined the gym, unlike some of us. I'm going to write a book, and then we say a lot of things that we're going to do, but we almost never do it. So one of the things I felt was even before we had actually done the show was this sort of the feeling of an achievement that what we set out to do, we actually did it, right? So that's the first thing. And then so how did I feel going into it? I don't think I've ever done spoken word with other spoken word artists, right? It's not like I headline shows or anything, but when I do it, I do it in like small gatherings, and it's just only me. And then I remember the first time we did our first like creative session, and then everybody's just so good. Like normally you expect like, so they're like two good guys, and then they're like two okay guys, and then they're like two guys that they're not that good. So probably if I'm okay, I'll be all right. But like everybody was so good, and it begins to like affect your self-esteem, because you're like, am I good enough to be amongst these guys? No, am I good enough to speak when the girls are speaking? And then this group of people now said they wanted me to go first. Like, this is so unfair. First of all, I don't even want to speak at all. Now you want me to speak first, right? The amount of, I don't say pressure, but like, yeah, pressure because of how
It was the haze.
Because of how excellent and how beautiful everybody. And like, I know I'm saying this like in so many different words, but if you like Mpo spoke, I think in one of the rehearsals, I was like, oh my God, where did Isaac bring this girl from? And then like I've known Ree for the longest time. Like you can just call Ree at 4 a.m. in the morning, and he's going to give you a 40-minute spoken word piece. Like, he's that good. Yeah. So like Ree is there, Brian is there, and I'm like, oh my God. Right. So that was that feeling. I had that feeling for the longest time during the process. A feeling of some kind of inferiority, right? Where you felt like you weren't good enough. Right. So, and then how the show was, right? One of the things that I think the show helped me with was, I think that's the first ever time I did spoken word for a crowd that I didn't know, right? So I used to do like all this motivational public speaking, telling people you can do it in life and whatnot. And I used to do that to crowds of people that didn't know me, right? But spoken word, like Mpo said, it's very, very, I feel like it's a very intimate kind of art. It feels like you are, in some sense, undressing in front of a crowd, right? And when I do spoken word in church, I mean, everybody knows you, and then it's church. I mean, if your piece sucks, nobody's going to come and tell you the thing you said about Jesus Christ is interesting. Like, either ways, they'll just clap and be like, praise God. Yeah. So there was that, like, you are doing spoken word for people that probably don't care about you. Like, if these people see you on the streets, they probably won't recognize you. They're not your friends. They're just random guys, right? And that's like, so that means you have to be good. You don't have to be kind of good. You don't have to, like, okay, deviating a bit. When I do spoken word in church, I'll do like the first 2 minutes. I'm just so comfortable on stage. I'm cracking jokes. I'm mentioning people's names to make myself feel so comfortable. So even when I do the spoken word piece, even if it's not as good, yeah, I do dry jokes. By the way, I'm very good with dry jokes. Like, but moving on. So when I do it in church and I do like my dry jokes, it's like me breaking the ice. But at this show, I couldn't come out and say, "Hi guys, I'm Iron Media." I'm not this. I couldn't break the ice. I had to come out and I'm done. Right. So one of the things it helped me was especially my confidence, in the sense that I know because of the show that if I put my mind to it, I can write something that is good, not something that will be okay, but something that is good. So that was one of the things that the experience helped me with. I think I'm done. Okay, and then the other thing about it was also it helped me grow my perspective of art. So I'm a storyteller. I like telling stories, right? And so that affected when I was doing public speaking. It always came out when I teach. When I teach, I tell stories, and then when I do spoken word, I tell stories too. I'm always telling a story because I'm a storyteller, right? But one of the things that working with so many different kinds of people has helped me to do is it's like it has opened up your mind to the different kinds of spoken word that exist and the different ways you can tell a story. Because for everybody was telling a story. Chelsea was telling a story about Rwanda. Isaac was telling a story about 4 seasons, but about his growth. Ree was just talking about his dad. But basically, we're all telling stories. We're all telling stories, right? And so it helped me to understand, like, you can tell a story in so many. It like opened up my how I view stories, and then I think I'm supposed to also talk about what I've been up to. So what I've been up to is a lot of things because, well, I'm one of those people that are like, they say they are thinkers and they are doers, and then there's me, right? I think sometimes, I do sometimes, right? So, but I think more. So I have a lot of things I have planned, but one of the things I am actively working on is I'm working on a short film album. Right. So because I always wondered, or I've always like in my head thought why so people like musicians or artists, they can create a whole body of art like an album, and that has like different aspects to it. Basically, not an album is. I don't need to explain it. And then even photographers can have like this whole, I don't know what they call it in photography, sorry, but they have those things that they do. Sorry, someone said something.
No, go on.
Okay, so they do where they like have a whole body of art, and then so I felt like, and I like writing scripts because, well, obviously I tell stories. All right, so I'm working on an album of some sort of short stories, but they're not like novel or like short stories in prose form. It's short stories in scripts, like screenwriting. So I'm supposed to do like 11 different scripts. I've done 2. And so yeah, that's like the only thing I'm actively working on. I have so many other things that I should be doing, but yeah. And then where do I see? I think there's something about like what I think our plans, like not plans. See, English is not my strong suit. Yeah, you guys know, but not particularly plans. But like,
That was a dry joke, bro.
No.
That was a joke. That was a joke. That was a joke.
No,
It was so dusty. But anyway, go on.
So anyways, so one of the things I am sorry, one of the things I'm sorry, there's something is loud here. I need to take down the volume. Okay, so one of the things I think we were speaking about COVID and how it changed everything, right? So I feel like our next step, obviously for us as Puerto Rico and Ireland, would be more of I know we've been trying to do a lot of stuff and we've not done it. It's probably like 157% my fault because I'm probably never as active as I should be. But I feel like our next step will be virtual, right? Where we'll be doing like what Isaac and Chelsea already did, the spoken word, the story time they did. And then Chelsea was basically like a spoken word piece. It was very nice, by the way. I don't think I commented that, but I really loved it.
It really was. It was a beautiful piece.
Good work to Isaac for such a beautiful work. Isaac for the video. That's not fun. So yeah, so I feel like our next step is going to be virtual, where we're going to be doing like stuff like this. We're going to be doing spoken word pieces online. I'm a bit scared about that. I'm skeptical because I don't think I know how to do spoken word to an empty audience. It's just you're talking to your phone. I don't know how that's going to be, but I feel like that's going to be our next step. So yeah, that's it for me. I'm signing out with a piece, and yeah, follow me on Instagram and Snapchat and Twitter.
All right, thank you.
Make sure to like and subscribe.
Yeah, it's thank you.
Subscribe to his OnlyFans, guys.
From
for just $9.99, you can rock your world.
What is on Ayo's OnlyFans?
Please, my OnlyFans is
yeah.
$5. I'm doing a 50% discount.
Okay, let me try to share the screen and see if the first video will work because I want to like okay, let me see if this one works first.
That handsome guy.
Can we hear anything?
Freshman.
Can we hear anything?
No.
Play, let's see.
Looks like sliced bread.
Can you hear the sound okay?
I know, we can't skip over that.
It's looking like sliced bread.
And can you hear the sound?
Yeah, you look like agege bread, Brian. Sit like agege. Sit like agege.
I can't hear sound. I can only see in Isaac, there is no sound though. Where is it? Increase the volume of your phone or your laptop or whatever.
There's no sound?
There's no sound, yes.
There's no sound?
Maybe we're supposed to mute ourselves. I'm not sure.
Yeah, mute everybody.
Maybe let's try shutting up collectively.
Come again.
Is everybody muted? Of course, mine.
If we say yes, we have to unmute to say yes. So
Lolo.
Can we? Is there a sound? No.
The Bluetooth device is not connected successfully.
There's no sound?
Hey, yo, whose Wakandan Siri was that?
We'll try
I don't know. I genuinely don't know who said that. I genuinely. It sounds like.
It was literally Brian, guys.
Brian.
It was literally Brian.
It sounds like Brian.
Okay.
I don't know.
I play it and we'll see.
Very Wakandan.
Okay. Let me play it again.
The world is full of stories.
Can you hear the sound?
Yes.
So like
everyone has a story, but it takes those who have the ability to gravitate towards telling it,
This voice is
and
nice.
the bravery of telling it. It's always the language of poetry, and stories that connects us. Stories are important. Art is our opportunity to tell our stories. When words combine and worlds converge, for partners in rhyme, very vivid in verse, what else can be done? Eyes witness a universe being spun, ears filled with the sound of building blocks colliding. Sky is a canvas on which meticulous painters deliberate with each other. Light pouring with the message. Poets on an island.
Finishers, Avengers. Yeah, look at that.
Bro.
English
Can we
language,
all
final Thanos.
Can we acknowledge how,
Okay, let me play
how
the
clean Gonzo's videos are?
Yes.
Dog.
I still get chills from that. That's wow.
Yes, that's, like the color of that video is just beautiful. The whole video just looks so beautiful.
Man, just everything, man. Like some top tier. This is some Cannes Film Festival-ish, bro.
Yeah.
All right. Our first video is, let's see, from the stage manager.
I have a feeling I'm going to laugh for seconds into this video.
Of course.
Poets on an island. You're only asking us a year after? Guys, I wish you asked me this question that same night and you would have heard how they've used and manipulated the English language, articulated, going to the But nevertheless, I wish you guys did show again. It's your anniversary, but I guess maybe you're going to do it next year. Fingers crossed. But yes, I enjoyed last year's show. I hope that was a start for a big journey for you guys. I hope you guys are going to continue doing the shows all over the internet, wherever. I wish you all the best. And whether it's visual stage or wherever, I just want to see you. All of you were amazing. You have inspired me.
These niggas are snitches. They didn't invite me.
Okay, I should pass it in my hands.
Was that going,
bro? Also got that Gambino nappy hair when he's in the stew, when he's cooking up some heat.
All right,
That video was emotional. Thank you,
man.
I'm back.
Hey,
Gonzo.
Yeah.
Gonzo.
Okay, our next video.
Hey, niggas, what's up?
Hi,
Brian.
What's up?
Isaac.
We chilling, fam. Why you look like you've been cooking some heat in the studio?
Bro, I've been cooking some, I don't know what to call it. Fire music.
I know, we can tell by the beard. You know, when a nigga out here getting that unkempt beard, you know he cooking some heat.
I was going to say, he looks like he's going to the barber shop.
Wait.
Wow.
No, I haven't gone to the barber shop in a minute.
Forest Hills Drive.
Check this out. Look how
he got. We gonna get some heat.
Look how dark it is.
Hey, dog.
Yes, you know. Look how black it is.
Yes,
and
dog.
dark and nice.
Alright, let me put mine away. I've got nothing to display then.
Yo, Isaac, I miss you.
Who was that? Wait, what? Oh, boy.
All right, you take the next video. Okay.
All right.
Hi. Hello from Snowbound, Ohio. Isaac asked me to say a few words to you as you're preparing for your video. I'm a great lover of poetry. One of my favorite poets is another poet from an island, W.B. Yeats. You know, it's strange, and in this troubled country that I live in, Yeats's poem, The Second Coming, has come to mean kind of what it is. It's the poem that makes sense. You might remember it. Turning and turning in a widening gyre, the falcon cannot hear the falconer. Things fall apart, the center cannot hold. Mere anarchy is loosed upon the world. You know, there's a famous book from your part of the world called Things Fall Apart.
Reno's book.
By Chino Achebe. That's how it's pronounced, by the way.
Felt
Oh, what?
strong emotions with Isaac when Amanda Gorman, a beautiful young Black woman, read her poem at Joe Biden's inauguration. And I remember she said, there has always been light if we're brave enough to see it, if we're brave enough to be it. And that's going to go down in history. There's a new generation. You're part of it. A new generation of entertainers and poets and rappers who are no longer mere entertainment. But you are truly the legislators of the world because it's your words that are going to make sense of what's going on. The brain works with poetry because rhyme and reason go together. So, you know, I encourage you to take heart in what you're doing. Perhaps you'll be reading a poem at an inauguration in the future. Hey, listen, I wish you the best. Carry on. Bye-bye.
That was Prof.
That was deep.
All right.
Bro.
Last one.
You get inaugurations.
That's a good one, yeah. Oh yeah, this one is it's peculiar to Mpo.
Oh, I get you.
Poets on an island, let our words speak. That show was fire, bruh. It was bomb. Like everyone came out and handled their shit. My favorite act, Black Widow, bruh. She was OP, bruh. Bruh. She was fire. If you didn't go, you really missed out because that shit had everyone at the edge of their seats, either laughing in suspense, just snapping. Like yo, it was visceral. It was fire, bruh.
The favorite act.
Oh,
he used the word visceral. Which is visceral?
I feel like the boy had something to do with.
Did you write his words for him?
I had nothing to do with that. I had nothing.
Not to be visceral, but
He just the word, the art, and the Black Widow, of course.
So, kill them with slow poison, you venomous creature.
slow poison.
Guys, I want to give my real time review of the show.
All right. The other video, Sasha was supposed to send me a video. I don't know, right? So the other videos, we're going to see them on the page. I'm going to put them on the page because people are sending them as they come. So that's what's up.
Where is Gonzo? Gonzo, where are you?
Guys, we've been on this live for almost 3 hours now. Yo.
Guys,
I know,
I'm here,
brother.
Guys,
Brother,
Gonzo was
like-
nice.
Can
Fantastic.
we also compliment?
Only that the only problem was
suits?
Mpo got me into trouble with my ex, with my girlfriend at the time. I was telling
you're
her
single
after
now?
the show start. I'm single, child. Yeah, no. Okay,
You're
that's
single
a story
now?
for another day.
What happened to the YouTube channel?
What happened to the YouTube channel?
You two had a YouTube channel.
So what happened to the YouTube channel? Do you report it? Do you report it?
It's on private now. It's on private now.
Can I follow your Instagram now?
Guys, go and collect your intellectual property. Go and collect your intellectual property, King.
No guys are douchebags. I'm gone. Bye.
Wait. But on the road, we just want to say thank you, bro. Like, I just want to say thank you to Godzo because he had a very integral part in putting the visuals together. And
On real.
There was one night when we left CIU at 3 o'clock. And it was crazy. And the editing was crazy. I think we reached up, I think before 6, that's when the edit finished. And the show was supposed to be the next 30 minutes. So, yeah. That was insane. Anyways,
She was with him editing the whole time, bro.
we have reached the end of the live flashback for Let Our Words Speak. And I want to say thank you for everybody who has watched and who's going to watch. And for me, it's important that I managed to convince 5 people. You know what I mean? Like, hey, that's deep. Like, for me, that's deep. You know, like I'm not like influential as people think I could be. I am some humble nigga like this, but I managed to infiltrate your minds and everything, and I am privileged that you saw my craziness, my meticulousness, and my craziness. And Chelsea, that side of me, you're gonna see it if we're gonna be together for a while. You're gonna see that side of me once in a while.
We're going to be together for a while. Okay.
Yeah, I have a child. You didn't know.
That's how you shoot your shots.
Sure, let's call it a child.
All right, guys.
Really?
We're good. Paul, it's lockdown, so what's that panty shop again? But anyways, cool. So that's done.
It's called
Go to Panty and sponsor me. I will wear underwear. Simple.
All right, cool, guys. The other videos, feel free to send them.
Unimaginative.
Feel free to send them in, and then we edit them, and then we post them and everything. So, for the people, I'm just gonna like finish it off with a video, and then for the people to just watch things and whatever, and then I leave. So yours can leave the Zoom if you want to, or if not, I'm just gonna play a couple of videos for the people, and then that's it. So love you all, and bye to everybody.
Like you too.
We like you too. Love everyone.
Bye.
Paul, let's have a baby.
What?
Whoa.
Let's have a baby.
Let's take it. Let's use the live thing, and then we talk about what happened to you, bro. I want to talk about what happened to you, bro.
What happened? No.
God.